All right, so we've seen the video on AI. So right about now, we want to go into the first topic on how to use AI to transform your business. All right, coming to do that for us this morning. This person is a seasoned data science, analytics, and AI professional with over 5 years of experience. He currently works at a fast-growing startup where he leads data-driven decision-making and leverages technology to foster business growth. He has worked with organizations across Africa and Europe, including Neo Group, Code First Girls, Tech for Drive, and the Nasarawa State Government. His expertise spans data strategy, machine learning, and applied analytics, with a strong track record of delivering impact in both the public and private sectors. Passionate about knowledge sharing, David has taught and mentored over 700 inspiring professionals in data science, AI, and analytics through various platforms. Beyond his professional achievement, he is a devoted Christian committed to living out his faith in both his personal and professional life. Your church, can we give a rousing welcome to Mr. David Taiwo Balogun?
Good morning, church. Good morning, church. This is a youth church, right? So I need like the energy. Good morning, church. Good morning, church. So before I start, I would really want to thank the pastorate under the leadership of Pastor Emmanuel and every of the pastorate. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma. God bless you in Jesus' name. So this morning we'll be talking about, so I don't know if this slide can come up. We'll be speaking about AI. I mean, so much of us have been hearing about AI. What is AI? And, you know, there is this conversation around AI is coming to take my job, or is AI really coming to take my job, or AI is not coming to take my job. And, you know, over the past couple of years, this conversation has been going on, right? But, sorry, if the slide can come up, please. Right? So one thing I tell people over time is AI is not coming to take your job, right? So see AI as an enabler, right? So I'm doing XYZ, AI would make what I'm doing better. Of course, there are some basic professions, right, in which AI is going to take over the years, but you should not find yourself in that situation. And one thing I tell people over time is try to learn, right? Learn on the spot, keep learning so far you're alive, right? I'm working as a cashier, for instance, now. How can I learn better? Now, we've seen instances of AI come to take over what a cashier is doing at the bank or whatsoever. And, you know, over time, what you have to do is to keep learning, right? Keep learning the right tools on how you can make AI better, how you can make your life better with AI, how you can leverage on AI. Sorry, the slide. How you can make your life better, right? So I would just want to make this very informal, right? So I would really just want to ask, so what do you think, if I can get the extra mic, what do you think AI is, or from your understanding, maybe one or two people can just, you know, we can share the mic around and just share their perspective of what you think AI is. One or two people, please, if it's possible. If you can get mic, please. One or two people, please, just raise your hand up and, you know, you get the mic. Let's just make that very fast, please. Yeah, good. Yeah, someone is here. Someone is raising their hand at the front here. Wearing yellow, yeah. Someone at the front, please. Let's make it fast. Yeah, this lady here. It's fine, it's fine.
Good morning. Praise God. Okay, so to me, in simple terms, AI is an abbreviation for artificial intelligence. And to me, I believe it's like a photocopy of human intelligence that is used to help humans make their lives or their living better and easier.
Thank you so much. I mean, can she get a round of applause, please? She said absolutely well. So I don't think I'll need anyone to speak again. She did a very fantastic job, right? So AI is just making lives better off human being, right? So everything AI is doing it off what we are doing, basically, right? So I know a lot of us are probably familiar with ChatGPT, right? So how does ChatGPT work, right? It's work based on information, based on data, right? So more or less like trying to mimic what we are doing. And if you see the slide here, I'm trying to be fast because of time, right? So AI refers to simulation of human intelligence in machine, right? So it's more or less machine is just trying to pick your brain, sort of. So that's the thing about AI, right? And AI thrives on data, right? So when I mean data, so this is a university environment. So I'll give you a very practical example, right? So the beginning of the semester or the section, right, you go for like 10 weeks of lecture or 15 weeks of lecture, and after then, you're having an exam, right? So that process of going for lecture is more or less like the training process, right? The exam you are writing is more or less like the testing phase or process, right? So same thing happened in AI. So there's the point of training your model. We call it model. You train your model with so much of data, right? So when you go into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, who is the president of Nigeria? ChatGPT is going to tell you, because ChatGPT has been trained with so much of information to know who the president of Nigeria is. But if you go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, what did I eat yesterday night? ChatGPT can't tell you, right? Why can't it tell me? Because ChatGPT has not been trained to understand this kind of data, right? So how do they get their data? Well, how do AI operate? So it operates on open data. So when I mean open data, in as much I'm putting my personal information into AI, AI can also make leverage of it. And that is how AI keep developing. So can we go to the next slide? Sorry. Okay, so these are just practical. Sorry, the previous one, sorry. Let's go one step back, please. So we just have more or less like a breakdown of AI technology, basically. So we're starting with machine learning. So, and this is a major part of AI, in which I deal with. So machine learning, basically, it's work on data, right? So it learns from data to make prediction or decision, right? So when you see stuff like forecasting, weather forecasts, I mean, you are trying to make forecasts about the future. So it's just leveraging on data, right? So that's what machine learning is. And, you know, there are some nice examples here. So, for instance, if you order Uber, for instance, now, if you are having, or you go to Prayer City, for instance, for power must change, and you know, and you are coming back. When you want to order a ride, for instance, you will see there is always an instances of surge, right? Increase in price, unlike a normal day, right? So this is what is driving it, right? So with the help of AI, so it can know there's maybe an unusual demand in a particular location, then the price is going to surge, right? So let's go to the next slide, please. Let's make this fast. Yeah, so we have the next one, which is called natural language processing, right, which is NLP. So, for instance, your Siri on your phone or your Google Assistant, I mean, you speak to Siri, I need this, I need that. So this is a perfect example of NLP. And at the end of the day, all these things works on data, right? So when I mean data, I'm not referring to internet on the phone or your connectivity. So these are data, open data. I mean, when you go online, you see a lot of data on Kaggle, on WordBanks, and the like. So that's just it. So the next page, sorry. So computer vision, right? So instances of drone, your face unlock, right? So for those people that use iPhone or phone that make use of unlocking your phone face detection. So this is a perfect example of computer vision. Let's go to the next slide, please. So robotic, we've not really seen this in Africa or Nigeria, I would say. But when you go to advanced countries, you would see stuff like Amazon making use of delivery system of robotics, right? Robots coming into play where, you know, basic activities can be done by human being, right? So this is just a means of eliminating cost and all that. Let's go to the next page, please. We don't have so much of time, so I need to rush this. So we have generative AI, and I think most of us are used to this, and this is a university environment, right? And a lot of students are making use of ChatGPT, which is 100% fine, right? So you can go into ChatGPT and put your research, you're working on a project and all that. So this is a perfect example, generative AI. So it makes use of data in form of text, images, audio, or video, right? So ChatGPT is a perfect example. Google also has its own, I think it's Brand AI. They are a perfect example of that. So let's go to the next page. How can AI improve my career? So I think this is something I tell people over time. How can AI improve your career? You don't have to stress yourself, to be fair, right? You are trying to get a job. You are trying to optimize your LinkedIn. You are trying to prepare for interview and all that. We'll just be very fast at it. Let's go to the next slide. How can AI improve? So we have this presentation, by the way, I did it with AI, right? I just had to spoof the content together. And I made use of Gamma app in doing that, right? I don't know if you can have a demo of that after this presentation, right? So I just had to pull in the content of what I want. I kept it there, and it's put everything. I mean, I can tell it what I want the color to be. If I want a different color, I mean, the images and everything, it's going to give it as to me, right? And this is where I would tell us as a children of God, we have to be very proactive in the sense that how best can I learn on my job? I was speaking to Pastor Shala over the week or thereabout. He told me graduate training in his workplace, I mean, they are trying to reduce the number of intake they take for graduate training. And this is because tools like this can easily prepare PowerPoints without having to stress yourself. So you're in a corporate environment, you're trying to pull PowerPoint. This is a perfect tool. Yeah, let's go to the next one. So we have for research, right? We have ChatGPT. I mean, every one of us is familiar with ChatGPT now, so I don't really need to spend so much time on it, right? So when you look at ChatGPT, you can make use of it for your research and your proposal and whatsoever. Let's go to the next slide, sorry. So for presentation also, yeah? So for presentation, for storytelling. You can make use of Tom app. You can also, for designing, for storytelling, for demoing or presentation, for client storytelling. These are applications or software you can make use of. Let's go to the next slide, sorry. Okay, so for meeting, a lot of us are familiar with, if you make use of Google, you can get this auto transcription, right, for transcribing messages or recording message or, trying to summarize message for you. Let's go to the next one, sorry. Okay, so for interview, I think this is a more very interesting one. I've not used the first one, this para kit, but I think I had someone over time that used it for an interview, right? So how you make use of it, any question they're asking you, you just enable it to your desktop. And, any question the HR, no offense to any HR practitioner here, I'm sorry, but we have to embrace it and we have to be fair with ourselves. And even HR, honestly, you have to allow people to use AI. Why? Because that is a form of learning. So this is a technological-driven generation, right? So how can you make use of AI? How can you leverage on it in making everything you are doing better, right? So we should not deny the fact that someone is making use of AI, the person is a bad person or not, right? So I'm making use of AI. How best can I optimize it for what I'm doing? That is the question we should ask ourselves, right? How best can you optimize it? If I'm going to spend 10 hours doing a particular task, with the help of AI, can I effectively do this task within 5 hours or 2 hours and save extra 3 to 4 hours? That is the question we should ask ourselves. So let's move to the next one. All right, so for career, you can use, so there are some tools below here. You would see it. You see THQ, Lazy Apply, and all that. They can help you optimize your LinkedIn, right? So you're having a very bad LinkedIn profile. You want to optimize it, to get some tailored suit jobs and all that. You can make use of all this. So these are user case in which you can make use of it. So let's move to the next one. So for businesses too, right? So how can AI improve my business? Let's move. Let's make this fast, please. So for branding, right, you can make use of Looker for branding, for getting logos, right? So you don't have to, unfortunately, designers, every one of us, we are all creative, I believe, right? So I don't have to pay a designer money to get a logo. With the help of Looker, I can easily extract a logo for my business and use it for branding. So we also have brand mark there, right? So brand mark is to get like a social media kit and all that, in which you can use. But one of the questions I tell people over time, or one thing I tell people over time is, some of these tools, in as much they might be free at the beginning stage, right? You might subsequently have to get to pay for it, all right? Let's move to the next one. All right, so this is for little business, SMEs and the like. So we have the likes of Zenny for automated bookkeeping. We also have the likes of Kensho, right, for automated bookkeeping and, just keeping track of your income and expenses, more or less like your P&L, all right? So let's move to the next one, please. Let's make it fast. So we also have for SMEs, we have QuickBook, right? I think QuickBook has been in existence for a very long time, but there is a part of it that's been automated over time, right? So you just have to log in your details, put in your details in there, and it's going to do more or less like a scheduler. You are trying to book meeting and all that. It's going to handle it for you. Let's move to the next slide, please. Let's make it fast. Okay, receipt. So I think this is a very important one, right? So you are trying to draft receipt in real time. So you can use the applications. You can use stuff like Verify. So Verify is very interesting because I've made use of it, right? So Verify, once you just put in your document there, over time, you can see a section in which, maybe on a monthly basis or quarterly basis, it's going to give you a breakdown of your P&L, give you a breakdown of your expenses, more or less like your scorecard at the end of the month to see how much you are spending. Maybe for maintenance, office maintenance, you spend 10,000, 20,000. It's going to give you a breakdown of it. So you don't have to manually start calculating that. Automatically, it does it for you. All right? Let's move to the next slide. Right, we have marketing too. We have Copy AI. We have Jasper AI. So Jasper AI is used for getting campaigns, right? Automated campaigns. So you are trying to run Google Ads, or you're trying to do Instagram and all that. So you need campaign. You need like catchy words, to get customers. So these are tools. These are tools you can leverage on. Let's move to the next page. Okay, so I'm not going to use slide for this. So more or less like consequences or mitigations of AI, limitations of AI. A lot of conversations have been coming up over time. Should I make use of AI? I was speaking to a friend in Egypt, I think late 2023. So he was telling me in Egypt then, I don't know as of now, that the government banned AI. So you can't make use of AI in Egypt, right? So the likes of ChatGPT, you can't make use of it. And that is because of data privacy law, right? So your data is not safe with AI. And I think that is, in as much they will tell you there's data privacy, ultimately it's not safe. And I saw a tweet this morning by the CEO of ChatGPT, I think Sam Altman. He was saying they can make use of AI, your data on AI for court cases. So for instance, if you have a court case against someone and you kind of uploaded some data over time, they can use that as an evidence against you, right? So that is to tell you that in as much they will tell you data is safe, data privacy and all that, a lot of people have their limitations against AI, right? And that's the point of data privacy, data governance coming into play. And as an individual, so I tell you, don't put your personal information. And I was speaking to a friend in Bloomberg over the years, maybe a couple of years ago. He was telling me in Bloomberg, they don't use AI. So I think what they did over time was to build their own in-house AI tool, right? So you are not taking complete information outside. So you're working as an accountant now. You don't just copy and paste your complete data into AI. No. By default, AI is going to save it. I need to solve a particular task. You can know how to coin the question and suit it for, the purpose you are using it. But taking your complete data like that and pasting it into AI, it might have its implication at the end of the day. Please, I need us to go to the last page of this slide. Last page, please. Second to the last, sorry. Second to the last, yeah. Okay, there is a link there. I don't know if you can click on the link, please. That AI tool across industry is a link, embedded link. So if you can click on it, please. So I don't know if it's possible, please, but if it is, please, let's just click it. So it's more or less like a breakdown. Regardless of your industries, there are a lot of tools you can leverage on. I write code most times. When I'm free, I write code and all that. I make use of Cursor AI. What does Cursor AI do? It literally writes my code. I just kind of tell Cursor AI what to do for me, right? And, a question I've been getting over time is, I'm trying to move into a new field. Maybe for people coming in as an engineer, software engineer, can I make use of AI? I tell them, don't make use of AI. Why? Try and learn the basics over time. Learn the basics, and when you are good with it, you can leverage on AI. But one thing I'm here to tell us is AI is here to stay. Everything you are doing, try to embrace AI. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Church. Good morning, church. So we're having a quick demo. So the IT would help us with the screen now in a minute. So we just want to show us quite a number of tools we can make use of in our daily life. And you're working in career, you have a small business, you're a small business owner, you're a student, you're a working class professional. Across the finance, accounting, whatsoever field, yeah, great. So these are just AI tools you can leverage on. The list is maybe close to 40 or 50, yeah. So Pastor Shala will make it available, the church will make it available to everyone, right? So you can leverage on it, you're a photographer, you need AI to make your pictures better and all of that. You can see it here. You're in the health care. You have quite a number of tools you can make use of here. You're in the real estate space. You see a number of tools. I think it's tiny, sorry. Right? So, but, you all get it. You're in the construction industry, cyber security. So I think I didn't put for software engineer here because I believe they would always find a way around it. Right? So just not to waste time. So I'm just going to demo a tool for us because of our time. So I'm going to pick on presentation, right? So we'll just demo it and see how it works. Yep. So just 1 minute. So let me just put it here. Gamma. So Gamma app. I think the network is slow. So this is what it looks like, right? So once you open it, you can see it's asking you paste in text. So you want a presentation, you want a web page or whatsoever. So you can paste in the text of what you want here, basically. So I have a ready-made text here. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to copy a portion of this because of our time. So I'm going to paste it here. So something to note, AI is not free. And I think that's the mistake a lot of us are making. So in as much this is free, this is limited, I would say. So you have to pay for AI. I make use of ChatGPT, the premium version. I pay $25 for it on a monthly basis, right? So in as much there's the free one there, which you can leverage on. But if it's going to make your work easier and faster, I think you are going to get the value of it. So you have to appreciate AI over time and, pay for it. So you can see it's asking you, generate note from the outline. Preserve the exact text. So I'm going to click on this. So this is going to take a minute or two because of the network, but let's just wait for it to configure your prompts. Right, so I think the network is slow, but it shouldn't take time. So let's just wait for it. I think it's taking time. Network. It's connected. It's connected. It's connected. I think the network is slow. The network is slow, but it should load and give us a new entire different page. I think the network is slow. Network is really slow. This is MTN. Sorry, the network is really slow. It should be coming up. So sorry it's taking a bit of time, but it's supposed to come up and, the output of this at the end of the day, you can download this, you can convert to PPT, you can, save it to your Google Drive for presentation, and you can share it with your colleague. Okay, yep. Okay. Yeah, so you can see it's telling me I'm almost out of credit, so I've kind of exhausted my plan. But if you want the free version, you can pay. What you can do, if you have like a lengthy presentation to do, you can cut it in bits, right? So you push in the first set, you download it, you upload the other one, you download it too, right? For people who can't probably afford, so I'm going to click on generate. But before I'm doing that, by the left-hand side, you can see you can customize and redesign it depending on how you want it. Right, so you can see by this side, but because of our time, I'm not going to do that. So you can, play with the images and all that. So the internet is really slow. So the other one here, right? So you can just play across with it. So you want to use different. So you're working in an industry that makes use of yellow, for instance, right? So you know how to put up a presentation that's color blue, right? So you just look for a color that is kind of aligning with your company color. Yeah, so it's loading now. So let's give it a minute or two. The network is slow, really slow. Okay. So don't close. It's telling us not to close the tab. So it's generating, so it's going to give us everything. So because of our time, right, but you can make this better and put images there, right, but because of our time. So what you can just easily do is to download this. So I'm just going to come here. You'll see export, right? So export, you can export as PDF, PowerPoint, export to a Google slide, export as PNG, right? So I'm just going to export to Google slide. But the only thing you are doing at the end of the day is just getting the content, right? So I'm having a presentation, high-level presentation with my management team. I know what I want, right? So you can just put in the content in a Google Doc, and you put it here, then you are good to go. So it's exporting to Google Drive, Google Slide. So just 1 minute or two. Like I said earlier on, that was what I used for the presentation. Okay, it's up. So that was what I used for the presentation, yeah. Everything I did here. The internet is slow, yeah. Everything I did use there, the images you are seeing here is AI driven, right? So I didn't bother stressing myself looking for any images. The network is slow, I think. So one thing I really think I need to say over time again is AI is not free, right? So, but there are more or less like tools you can leverage on, right? You're a student, ChatGPT is free for you. You can make use of the free version of ChatGPT, right? Use ChatGPT, use Vand AI, use Gemini AI, and Gemini AI, and those little tools, right? If you can pay for the premium version, I would say. This is taking time. So it's taking time. Apologies, the network is really bad. But should come up in a PowerPoint, right? So you can just walk into your presentation with your manager. After demoing this to them, you'll probably get a promotion. So, okay, so I think it's coming up, yeah. So, okay, yeah, so that's just it here.